Hey guys, I've got 5 tips for you today when working with hard money lenders in real estate. But first, it's Monday, so it's run day. Let's go. Hey guys, I'm out for a run. It's about 30 degrees out. Snowing a little bit, windy. Hey guys, today we're going to talk about 5 things you should be aware of before you work with a hard money lender. So first off, let's just give a little summary of what a hard money lender does. Typically, real estate is bought with loans or cash. If you don't have the cash, you need some sort of lending partner to help you out. So typically, you go buy a house, you're going to use someone like, let's just say a big bank like Wells Fargo. You submit your application, you buy a house. Well, if you're an investor and you're looking for distressed properties that need a lot of work, sometimes that type of financing is not going to work for many different reasons that we won't get into right now in this video. But hard money is a great way to purchase real estate that's distressed, because not only can you purchase the property, but you can also fund the rehab as well. So it's a great way to partner with a lender that knows distressed real estate and will lend on an asset like that. So that's kind of a brief overview of hard money. So what do we need to look for? What do we need to be aware of? And how do we find a good hard money lender? Number 1, I would ask for references, both from the hard money lender, but also other investors, possibly that you know in your area. Maybe you've met up at a local RIA group. Reach out to some people on BiggerPockets, see who they've used and who they've had good success with as far as hard money. There's a ton of hard money lenders out there, so you gotta be really careful about who you go with. And just like a contractor, a realtor, another vendor, it's always good to ask for references and make sure that you know who you're gonna be dealing with, because it's gonna be a partnership, really. They can be very helpful, you just need to find the right one. Number 2, you got to know all the fees associated with it. Typically, what most people know about hard money lenders is that they're going to charge points, maybe say 1 to 4 or 5 points on the loan, which is 1% of the loan. And then they'll have a fairly high interest rate, say 9 to 15%, something like that might be typical. So those are 2 big fees that most people are aware of, but there are also a lot of other hidden fees. So one might be like a document fee or application fee, a processing fee, legal review fee. There can be draw fees for the inspections. There can be an appraisal fee. So make sure that you ask your hard money lender, what are all the other fees associated with the loan, so that you can kind of work that out into your calculations. You can really get sunk by all these extra fees that really add up and hurt your bottom line. So to piggyback off that, number 3, it is expensive. It's incredibly expensive compared to funding it a traditional way. Say if you can get a 5 or 6% rate right now in today's market to buy a house, but then you don't have rehab money either. So it's a short-term solution, and you just really have to be aware that there are a lot of fees associated with hard money, and you just have to figure that into your numbers. If it works, then great. It's a great tool to be able to use it, and it's almost like using cash. So number 4, I would say learn how the draws are processed, because this can be a time killer. So the draw is when the contractor wants to get paid. So usually there's a draw schedule, say 3 or 4 payments over the course of the work that's being done on the property. And the hard money lenders typically will send out an inspector. The inspector will see how much work has been completed, mark it down, and then they send a payment to your account, then you can pay your contractor. The important thing with all this is just to know how the draw process works, because there could be extra paperwork or extra things that need to be done to make sure that everything's done in a very precise way so there's no delays. And the last thing you want is your contractor being mad at you because you don't know how the draw process works and then they don't get paid on time. Number 5, have a very realistic expectation of your timeline. This is super important when you're flipping a house, and you need to know how long is it going to take to both rehab and then sell it. So I would always put a little buffer in, a little cushion in. If your contractor says it's going to take 2 months, maybe plan for 3. And if your realtor says it's going to take a month to sell, maybe give it 2 or 3 months. So kind of stretch that out so that you know that these could be potential other costs, because you're paying interest-only payments every month to your hard money lender. So it's super important to know what your timeline is and be realistic with it. So thanks for watching today, guys. Please like, comment below. I'm sure you have a bunch of questions about hard money, and we'll see you in the next video.